Wow, I'm surrounded by a beautiful place at the moment here in Tamborine Mountains of the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. I have the privilege and just the thankfulness to be in this wonderful place. Here spending some time with my family, enjoying a small break from our sort of busy schedule, I guess. But I'm taking some time out this afternoon just to reflect and maybe connect with somebody out there. I've had a lot of time to think and just reflect on what truly is important. And family is always going to be the very first thing. My wife and I, we have a beautiful little girl. She's 4 years old. Her name is Zoe, or Zoe in Hebrew, which means the abundant life of God. And we are privileged to have her as our beautiful little daughter. She constantly inspires us and shows us how to do life better. So I've just been reflecting on how precious family is, and especially when we live in times that are so hard at the moment, so many different places in conflict, whether it's a war or dispute or whatever. And the one thing that does happen is children suffer quite a lot. And yes, so the fact that you and I, if you have a peaceful and wonderful opportunity in life, and we're privileged with this, really take time to enjoy yourself with your family. Just run around with your little one and just really just understand the fact that every moment is a gift from Yahweh, our Lord. And truly it is meant to be enjoyed. Yes, we have responsibilities in life, and yes, we do things that we need to do to pay the bills and to live our lives. But never neglect that child that is inside of you as well, because that truly connects with your children. And that's when you really come back to what it's all about. Forgiveness, love, mercy, kindness, and just being gentle to one another. As a husband, sometimes I mess it up with my wife, and I say things maybe that I didn't want to say, but out of the spur of the moment it would just come out. And what a man, and then you kind of go, if I could just take those words back, because I didn't want to say that. So just take some time out just to say I'm sorry. And it's not that hard. All it takes is just swallow that pride. As males, we have a lot of pride at times, and we find it hard to say those small words, I am sorry. But if you do say it, please mean it, because girls know when you're telling the truth and when you really mean it. It'll help you so much. A tongue, if anything, it certainly helped me a lot. My wife is connected to a website or an app that sends her progress on our child, and she started this before we had Zoe. And this app basically sends her every month or whenever it is, just the updates on what's happening to our child as she's growing up, and what to expect, and how to understand her better. And what kids go through and so forth, and it is really helpful. And one thing that really kind of was amplified was yesterday my wife was sharing with me that at the age of 4 a child expresses and is learning their emotional aspect and all of the things connected to their emotions by moving and fiddling and doing this and doing that. They're constantly active and moving and doing stuff. And when we sit at the table, I tend to be the dad. Okay, let's sit down and eat. I love talking and sharing, but I can't handle the fiddling around and the playing with this and that, And it's so bizarre because, yes, it's good to be respectful on the table, and yes, it's good to be sitting quietly and sharing, but she's only 4, and I'm only learning. I guess even as I'm sharing this with you, I'm learning how important it is for me as a dad, for my wife as a mum, to allow certain aspects of my child's fiddling and playing and so forth, even if it's at the table, because it's her character that's been developed. And yes, of course, there is a certain, it's a fine line. You draw boundaries and you want your child to learn the better way, but it's time that we really stop wanting to control so much and let go a little bit more. Because when we control so much, we tend to lose perspective of what's most important. And whether it's your child, whether it's a job situation, whether you have a business or you're involved in a church and you're a leader, whatever it is, when you try to put too much emphasis on how you want things to be, guess what? It'll probably blow up in your face a lot quicker than what you thought. So what am I saying? I'm just saying, loosen up a little bit. Take it easy, Give your child or people some room to move and grow and experience certain things. I'm certainly learning that. And in my own personal life, with people that I look up to, or mentors, or whatever it is, I'm also expecting that they will understand that I need some room to grow in, and not to put too many boundaries around me, because all it does is it makes me want to kind of push them out of the way. And isn't that like human nature? When we put people in a box, it's not long before that box is blown apart, because people just blow up, and explode with rage or whatever, So, especially teenagers, So, think about it. There is so much pressure being put upon teenagers today. And the one thing that's stripped away from them is the lack of taking control of their aspects of their emotions, of what they want to do. And I'm actually going to have a go at Facebook and all the media, the Twitter and social. Look, I enjoy using all those social medias, in our business and in my own personal life. But when something takes control from you, and something is actually pushing you to do something that particularly maybe it's not your own choice, that to me is a big red light, which means stop. Because something is trying to enforce onto you what doesn't belong to you. What I mean by that, it's like you make decisions and choices by what you see and what you feel and what you do, not by what someone else is suggesting to you. And so, again, just like my little girl, we help her, and I'm learning how to set boundaries that aren't going to chain her up, but give her enough freedom so she can experience herself. Don't allow social medias or anything else put chains and boundaries upon you that are going to just tunnel vision you in a way. Don't lose your perspective. There's so many things I could say about this. People study and become lawyers and become doctors and so forth, and great academic achievements, but you take them out of that place and you put them in a situation where they have to use some common sense. And a lot of folks get lost, especially a lot of people today get lost. It's because we've sort of lost a lot of that heritage. Get out, do stuff, get out into nature and do stuff. Grab a twig and break it and see what happens, whether you hurt yourself or whatever. Do something. I don't know. Get some common sense aspects flowing in you, because it's when you get involved in actual life is where you learn. Because we learn sometimes through mistakes, and sometimes we fall and we learn. And sometimes, I hate to say this, but my daughter will learn through falling, and she obviously does. So sometimes we need to give ourselves and children, people, a bit of room so they can experience a bit of life. And even, if it's going to be a bit hard at times, you need to. Our Heavenly Father, our Yahweh Elohim, He is so good that He will allow even circumstances at times, challenging ones. And I don't like them sometimes. Man, I wish I didn't have to go through certain things. But it's those challenges, those circumstances, those ups and downs that are molding my character, giving me strength to use my character. In other words, allowing me to use my judgment and not take it away from me, to use my common sense and not rip it out of me by suggesting how I should do things. In today's world, we have so many how-to-dos. People making videos and playing how to do this and how to do that. How about you get out there and learn how to do something on your own account, by your own experiences, by your own challenges? How about you write your own book? How about you film your own video? How about you sing your own song, paint your own picture, draw your own whatever? How about you take some power and use it for your outcome? And oh man, what a story. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we all have our own story. And so, how about your own story? Have you ever, videoed yourself? Like, what? It is challenging because you're putting yourself out there, but you know what? Why not try it? Don't worry what you look like or what you sound like or whatever. Just go for it. Have you ever sculpted something? Have you ever grabbed a bit of stone and a chisel and just smashed the heck out of it? Something's gonna come out. Have you ever grabbed a bit of timber and chiseled it away, filed it away, and created something? Do something. Go to the beach. Wow, what a concept! And get a bit of moist or wet sand, not so wet, moist, and make something. Sculpt something. Have you ever flown a kite? Grab yourself a cheap kite. They're not very expensive. Fly a kite. What a concept, huh? Have you ever, when was the last time you got on a bike? On roller skates? Roller skates, that shows a bit of my age. Roller blades. I don't know. Go to a cliffside. Don't jump. Just go to a cliffside somewhere and just lie on your tummy and crawl up to the edge and just, what an adrenaline, it's my Spanish here, adrenaline, to see that, that cliffside and to be at the edge there. Again, be very careful. Please, just crawl on your belly. If you want to. Anyway, we won't go any further with that. But just, you know what I'm trying to say, do something a bit different. There are so many wonderful things in life, so many experiences. I don't know what this video is all about. I just came out with my camera because I wanted to record something. I'm definitely going to add a couple of things I've been filming around here, especially birds. Kookaburras coming to the porch where we're hanging out and just getting a little bit of bread and eating it. That's just the best. A little kangaroo we even saw today and yesterday just jumping around, checking us out. I'm going to show you a beautiful sunset that we filmed and recorded, and I took some pictures yesterday. And I've got a bit of a clip there, a sunrise. What about a sunrise, man? Why don't you get up just early, like mega early? Make it the challenge and just go watch a sunrise. We actually last night stayed out with my girls, had a blanket, it was really cold, and just watched the sunset, and then, we lie down and looked at the stars. Wow, what a concept. When was the last time you actually got up to a mountain and gazed up where there's no city lights to cover that, and gazed at the stars and how many beautiful little lights there is in the heavens? Our Creator is so wonderful that, has made so many beautiful things. So, from me, Fabian, here in Tambourine Mountains, in the Gold Coast, beautiful Gold Coast, privileged to live here. Thank you for taking the time to check this, whatever it is, out. And if it has actually spoken to you something, if it said something to you, please, on the social, I'm talking about social, just whether it's YouTube, Facebook, whatever this goes on, and if you really do enjoy it, I don't know, give me a little bit of encouragement. Just let me know that you're trying something, you're going to try something new that you haven't done before. And if you are actually doing all those wonderful things and more, wow, even share that with me. So can I give you a little plug in? We've got a cafe, churro cafe on the Gold Coast in Carrara Markets, and you know, we just love serving people, because really that's what it's about, you know. And I get so excited when people come in and they just are, you know, just inquisitive about the food we have, because we do South American food, and just try our churros or have our coffee, and they just love it, you know. And I'm passionate about serving people. I think it's one of the things that a lot of times we forget how to serve people. And I'm not talking about being a robot and being kind of, you know, dogmatic about it, but I'm talking about really serving people, you know, when you really say good morning or good afternoon, how are you, literally mean that, you know. There's one thing we don't say in our cafe is, how can I help you? Oh my goodness, can you help anybody? I don't know, it's a big word. And sometimes when I go to a shopper and someone says to me, can I help you? I feel like saying, well, have you got a moment? We'll sit down and I'll tell you about all my problems, if you can help me. I actually said that to a young lady one time. Oh, would you like to help me? Well, I've got this issue, that, and she just kind of had a bit of a freak out on me. But anyway, you can't help somebody. You can certainly listen to them, and you can certainly serve somebody. Because at the end of the day, it's when you serve people, when you assist people, when you guide people, that's where people find help. You are not doing it. You're being the facilitator for someone to discover how to help themselves. Because that is the key. If someone can learn how to help themselves and how to move on from one point to the other themselves, then more likely that when they're on their own doing life and struggles and whatever and challenges, they will be able to move themselves to better options and to further themselves. So yeah, and that's my point of view. Again, it's I'm sure that other people have got other points of view. That's my point of view. So we assist people. We how can we serve you? How can we assist you? Or, you know, or we even just talk to people like, are you having a good day? What's it like today? You know. And I've had some people say to me, no, I'm not having such a good day, and we'll have a little bit of a conversation. So I guess that's what I love about, you know, the time that we have at the moment with our cafe, which is run on the weekends basically, that we can touch lives. And so anyway, to bring an end and a conclusion to this video, thank you so much for taking the time. It certainly has been a privilege to connect with whoever you are, wherever you are. And again, I stress, please do get in touch. Send us some feedback or something. And I know that not everybody's going to agree with what I say, because hey, that's humanity. We don't have to always agree with everything. But I am so grateful that I'm actually doing this. And I hope that I will encourage, by doing this, somebody else to do something similar or different, whatever it is. Just as long as you get to do something. Because that's what it's all about. And my baby girl, Zoe, she is just the best. She helps me and my wife and I, to learn about life so much more than what we thought we knew. Yeah. And this is one of the ways that I see the Father working to guide me and to guide us in life through nature, through animals, birds, everything that we have, trees, especially children. we have the privilege to learn so much from children. Don't get me wrong, don't be childish. Not to be childish. A lot of grown-ups that are very childish. But to be a childlike, to dream and to experience and to experiment and to have a go and to laugh and to play and to make up quickly after an argument, or something that, or a discord, whatever, just to come back and keep going. Wow. So anyway, Yahweh truly bless you, and we will see you soon. Who knows, maybe one day we will meet.